brother. Oh, brother. You can't make this stuff up. Having a little technical difficulties with my camera right now. I've got to go out and buy a new. If anybody knows anything about this, check this out. This is what I need. It's like a $70 piece of plastic that I get at Best Buy. I bet you if I go online, I can find some. Or Molly goes online, she can find something cheaper for me. But this is how I connect my screen, my full monitor, to my laptop, so I can look at it and I can get a bigger picture. This is right now here. I now have two of them. They just burn out. 6 months, they burn out. And so that's my technical difficulties. That's why I'm not looking straight at you like I usually do. I'm looking down. But geez, I gotta tell you about just how stupid government can be. Obviously, I look at a lot of hotel conversions. I love the concept. I love everything about it. It makes sense. You're doing good. You're doing good while doing well. You're doing well by doing good. I have to tell you, when government gets involved, that's when everything goes crazy. And I want to share with you this one article that I read. And if anybody is, Gail has one of those. Gail, do you have? I mean, how many have you burned through? I mean, seriously. I don't know what it is. I leave it plugged in all the time. When I leave it all plugged in. So maybe I shouldn't do that. But my gosh, the thing just drives me crazy. All right, none. You have no problems. All right, well, I'll figure it out. We'll get to the bottom of it. You're doing too much. Yes, I know. I leave it in all the time. Okay, so look at this. All right, let's talk about this. I'm going to share with you my screen, and you're going to see. I want all of you to look at this and tell me. I mean, there's our future president of the United States, Mr. Gavin Nome, who thinks he's always the prettiest man in the room. And what happens when he goes in the same room as Justin Trudeau? I mean, how could you stand those personalities, the narcissism in the room with those two guys? And the thing is, I've known guys like Gavin Nome in my works and travels. And I just saw him walk into a room at some event. I think he was representing Joe Biden. Yeah, how'd that work out for you, Gavin? Walking into a room just to go in and press the flesh, and he just dripped. Watch your wallet. You don't even want to be near this guy. You got to take a shower afterwards. But look at this. This is why this guy can do no wrong as a real estate developer when it's other people's money. Now, Thomas Edison had a saying, so you can't, what did Thomas Edison say about government and business? Let me see. Thomas Edison quote, government and business. Let's see if I can figure it out, because this is, let me see. Close, just not, no. Oh, well, I tell you what, if somebody can find it while I'm live here, it had something to do with government does not have to balance the books. That's why they can do whatever they want in business. Something to that effect. If anybody can find that and just type it into the description, I would appreciate it. But here's the issue here. Let's take a look at this. Some developer, American Family Housing, was awarded $29 million to convert a motel $29 million. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, wow, that's going to be one heck of a big hotel. It is smaller than the one I'm buying for $6 million. 76 units. Gavin Nome is spending $381,000 per unit to convert. $381,000. Now, folks, you might be thinking, oh, well, that money must just be for they're going to tear it down and rebuild something else. Okay, maybe there will be more. It doesn't say it in the article. At least I didn't see it in the article. As a matter of fact, let's go read the article together. But you just think about it. I'm buying my hotel for $39,000, almost 10% of the price. Well, I have 141 units. They only have 76. Absolutely ridiculous. And this gives you an idea of why. I mean, the way that we're doing it is so we're able to make money. We're able to make money on day one, and this thing is going to be a disaster. A swamp. Oh, he's such a swamp creature. Yes, Gail. Thanks. So let's go back and let's read this article. Boom. Where'd it go? Where are you, man? Here we go. All right. American Family Housing has secured $29 million in state funds to convert a Costa Mesa motel into a 78-unit affordable housing complex for residents at risk of becoming homeless. $381,000. That's like the average house here in New Hampshire. California Department of Housing and Community Development awarded the project Home Key Grant to the Midway City-based nonprofit developer to remodel the Travel Lodge. Now, I'll tell you something, folks. I had a guy on my podcast who does hotel conversions, and all he looks for are Travel Lodges because of the way that they're built. He can do great conversions with those, and he doesn't come close to spending $381,000 a door. By Wyndham Orange County Airport, Costa Mesa. The makeover at Bristol Street and St. Anna Avenue, northeast of the city, is a part of a partnership with the cities of Costa Mesa and Newport Beach. Sure, the more the merrier. Plans call for revamping the motel into 78 homes, including 2 market rate units for managers. Oh, the joy. And 76 permanent supportive homes. The affordable units, which have nothing to do with affordability, will include 36 studios and 41 bedrooms. See, that's why Travel Lodges are good options for conversion. They have big size studios and they have several 1-bedrooms all in there. So that's how that works. All right. Construction is expected to begin soon, according to a news release, with the conversion expected to take a year to complete. $45 million project dubbed Home Key Bristol includes a $4 million contribution from Costa Mesa, $3 million from Newport Beach, and the rest of it from yours truly looking in the mirror. The details behind the sale of the 3.5-acre motel aren't clear. Governor Newsom announced the grant this month among the latest Project Home Key Awards. You remember, this is where they said they had all these billions of dollars that they were buying protecting the homeless. This is what it's going to. This is what it's going to. Crazy, crazy numbers. Saying $3.6 billion investment in the program. It's not an investment, it's a boondoggle. Since 2020 has created 15,000 new homes. Okay? You're making me do math. All right, so I'm going to have to add a 0 divided by 15,850 times 10 equals $22,000 a door, or divided by 10. I should have divided by 10. Divided by what? All right, so about $250,000 a home. State officials estimate 172,000 households will be served over the life of the project. The Travel Lodge Motel is the only project in Orange County to get funding in the program's 3rd round of funding. Oh, man. American Family Housing was founded in 1985, now operates more than 60 supportive housing properties in LA and Orange County. I tell you, I have a bunch of clients who are developers in out there in LA, in that area, and they do a really nice job. And a lot of them, I mean, they can make millions as a developer on small property, like 4 units. That's all it takes. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, exactly, Gail. His aunt Nancy Pelosi. I mean, it's all a family cabal. Her Newsom, and then 2 others too. 4 people who are all in cahoots in California politics there. I can't remember who it is. But yeah, you definitely have to look out for those clowns. Now, recently, and I have on very, 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 very good authority that, if you do a search, especially in Real Deal, just on the Tides. Tides is a partnership, a syndication. Let me just read you some of these headlines. Tides loses Vegas apartments to lender, wiping out equity. Tides loses 2 more DFW apartment properties to lenders. Tides hit with 2 more DFW foreclosures. Tides defaults on $103 million Rialto loan, lender pushed to appoint receiver. Tides' original investors may be wiped out by preferred equity deal. Tides Equities faces 3 foreclosures in Fort Worth. Tides shops for cash to prop up 30 Sunbelt properties. Soon after workouts, Tides falls behind on $150 million in debt. Tides touts loan workouts across bulk of portfolio. Oh, man, it just goes on. Poor guys, Well, there's going to be an upcoming article. They're actually a couple of the reporters from The Real Deal will be sitting down with the 2 guys who head up Tides. That's Ryan Andrade and Sean Kia. Those are the 2 guys, young guys. Hate to see it happen to anybody. Sometimes these guys grow too fast and they're more concerned about the next deal because that's where they make their money. But I was interviewed on background about what's going on in the real estate market, especially the multifamily, and especially these guys with that are living this new cottage industry of raising private money through capital raising, and how they are flying fast and loose with the deals and with the rules and with the laws, and all it takes is some of these guys to start losing their money, and then the SEC finally gets involved. The SEC tends to wait until investors have bottomed out, and then they go in there to save the day. Grand old people. So that is the situation that I kind of helped and walked them through, like what's gone on over the last couple of years, and why these things are happening. Nothing that I haven't told any of you on these calls that you could have seen this coming, where when the GPs are more interested in the transaction than they are in the investment, then you have a problem. If they are compensated 3% of the purchase price at the closing table, what do they care about how well the investment does? They made their money and they're getting out. And so many of these guys did exactly that. And then they and all they do is run on to the next one. So that was the conversation that I had with the reporters from The Real Deal. I'd be very curious to see how they use my comments. I think if you see that comment that I just said about investors being more concerned about the transaction than the investment, that's the problem. And I said, because what happens is they're no longer investors, they're brokers. They're nothing more than brokers. So what is happening this year, the next year with the loans? These guys took out a 3. Yeah. Okay. And then let me tell you something else, Gail. Oh, good. You found it, Gail. There is far more danger in public than in private monopoly. For when government goes into business, it can always shift its losses to the taxpayers. Government never makes ends meet. That's exactly the quote I was talking about, Gail. And that is the first requisite of business. Yep, exactly. So, yeah, it's crazy. But listen, I've never said I'm a big, huge fan of what's his name, Grant Cardone, like my buddy Bob Damigella is. But yeah, Bob Damigella has had the Kool-Aid. But Grant Cardone talked in an article a little while back about what's going to be happening over the next couple of months. And in my coaching call, I quoted him, and he talked great theory, but I talked great practice and what you can do in practice. So here's how you do it. And Molly, you want to get that link ready so I can help people out here. He's a phenomenal marketer. And let me tell you something, Gail. All business is sales and marketing. That's it. This business, any business, sales and marketing. That's the name of the game. Okay, so here's the deal. What he said is that there are going to be many great deals that he's going to go after from lenders who will be taking properties back. Now, folks, Grant Cardone just bought a Class A apartment building in that most primo location in downtown Chicago for cash. For cash. You're not able to do that. But that's how he's going to make his money. Now, the issue is, how can you do the same thing? And the way you do it is you go in and you find the lenders who have the tough mortgages. And the way you do that is you go in there and you get into a system like Crexy. All right. And I'm pushing Crexy. I just bought a bunch of licenses. If you want a discount, Crexy typically costs $299 a month if you do it on a month-by-month basis. If you sign an annual commitment, you get it for $249. If you get it from me using this listing here, you get a month. Okay. Now here's how you use it. All right. This is how you use Crexy. You go into the investment side and the property research side, and it lists all these properties, not just the CMBS lenders, because the CMBS lenders, everybody has that information. Crexy actually has local lenders on particular deals. That's the type of granularity they've done in the building of their database. And so what they do is they go in there and you can do a search on all the mortgages that will be terming in the next 24 to 36 months that, let's say, have interest rates below 5%. Those properties are the ones who are going to be in trouble, because what will happen with those types of properties is they will trigger a maturity default. That means that that at their termination, when it's at the end of the term for the mortgage, because the cap rates have gone up and the values have come down, the owners will not be able to refinance. So they've got to solve the problem. Those are the short sale type opportunities that we have here in our business, and that's where you're going to find them. That's how you're going to get into these deals and find these great deals. And if you think 5 years from now, geez, I wish I had known. Well, I'm telling you right now, because those are the people who made millions in the last couple of years, and that's how they did it. Okay? They got in there, they spoke to the lender, they got a good relationship going with the lender, and they went there and they stole these properties. How do I know about this? because I've had properties of mine stolen from me like this during the last crash. I remember when I had to give back one of my best properties because I would have had to come up with $1 million to refinance it just to get back to zero. And the guy who bought it stole it and made millions. And then how about the time I was on the Shark Tank or Shark Pool or whatever it was called. And these guys, these two young guys, were talking about their portfolio in North Carolina and Kentucky. And they're showing the pictures of them on the wall. And they're talking about how, well, there's no way that the interest rates could go any higher. And I'm just thinking, this kid doesn't know what he's talking about. This was about 3 or 4 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And I'm wondering, the people on the call here, this really happened. And there were, if you were in the circles, you might have been on this show when I was talking to these guys, and they get up there and like, oh, the interest rates will never go up. And I said, let me tell you a little story. And before I do, go back to that slide that you were showing that shows your portfolio. And so he puts the portfolio of his in Kentucky and North Carolina. And I said, let me tell you a story. Back in 2008, 2 months after Fannie and Freddie filed for bankruptcy, I closed on a 222-unit apartment complex in Lexington, Kentucky, and you saw the two guys, their eyes bug out because there's only one 222-unit apartment complex in Lexington. And I told them about how I lost and I bought it for 7.5. The guy, it was a Fannie Mae, maturity default, couldn't come back. Dropped the keys on the desk, shook hands, non-recourse. I pulled it up on Crexy. The guy bought it from the special servicer for $3 million. $3 million. And about 6 or 7 years later, actually, I think it was only 4 years later. Let's say 4 years later, these two wet behind the ears kids bought it for $7.5 million. That guy made $4 million that should have been mine. And that's how people made millions during the last crash. I'm telling you how to do it today during what's going on right now. If you don't have Crexy, there it is. Sign on up. We'll get you into the training program so you can learn how to use it. $197 a month. I was not even planning on selling today, but I've got to push you on this one. This is my link. These are my seats. You'll be in a portion of my program, and you will learn how to use this system in order to make money. So don't let it be said that no one told you any better. I'm telling you right now, this is how you do it. So, let's see. They also then use units. Yeah, exactly, Gail. Tides must be Republicans, so they are after them. Hey, and listen, this is not a political thing, Gail. This is, those Tides guys. They just did what everybody told them to do. That's what all those syndicators told people to do. And I kept warning them, and I was like the skunk in the garden party. So, all right. So that's it. Take advantage of the Crexy discount. Get into the training, and you'll see exactly how to use these things, and we'll make it happen. All right, everybody. Great to have you on board. It's tomorrow's going to be one of those days. Don't plan working late tomorrow. Everybody cuts out. Go ahead and cut out early, and we will see you next Thursday. Oh, and also maybe Tuesday, but we're Molly and I are going to be talking about the dual systems for the YouTube lives. So, all right, great to have you out. Have everybody, and we will talk to you soon.